Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's CashLocsnlife, and today I am working on my July planner setup and July budget. So if that's something you want to see, then let's get it. So I just realized that I was filming. I was putting my stickers on and my camera was not on. So I've gotten through putting the header on in the first few days of July. I'm sorry, guys. Look. So I looked up like, wait a minute. I'm not recording. No. I'm recording now. So anyway, I wasn't talking about anything yet. I was getting ready to. So while I'm finishing up the numbers, I don't know if I even told you about how nice these stickers are. I received these when I ordered my June stickers from Caffeinated Kate, and they have the little butterflies. I did notice that All Things Planned, she sells Erin Condren sticker sets. So I think I will be trying hers for August when she releases her August set. I looked on her site yesterday and she still had June and July up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get hers in August and see if I like those. I see them all over Etsy, but I want them to fit. I don't want to make a mistake and order the wrong size. So I've been scared to do it, but I saw hers. I'm like, yep, I'm going to try hers next. So stay tuned for August. So while I am finishing up these numbers, let's have a little quick story, another prison story. I don't tell many of those. Some of them are a little bit too much. When you think about it, some are funny, some are cool, some are just like, no, let's not talk about that on this channel. But I remember the first time that an inmate tried me. Like, tried me. And I don't know like what area of the country you guys are for, but I don't know if you tried me. It's a universal term, but that's pretty much what it was. He tried me. But anyway, I was actually working in Echo dorm this day. I was assigned to that post. My normal dorm was Delta dorm, and if you've heard me talk about it before, Delta dorm was an open bay dorm, and Echo was like a 2-tier dorm that had 2 men cells. And so, you know, when other officers were out, you know, you filled in certain posts, and this day I was filling in that post. So anyway, it was I just come on shift. I worked 4 to 12, and like right when you come on, you have count, and then it's time for chow hall, like dinner. They ate dinner really early, so it was chow time. And so the way it worked was there was 2 officers in the dorm. One escorted the inmates to the chow hall, and one just stayed at the dorm. You know, it's just for, you know, supervision, security. That's just how it worked. So I was visiting that dorm. I was filling in, so I didn't escort the inmates to the chow hall. I stayed behind. So, you know, time is going on, and I'm standing outside of the officer station. I'm actually outside on like the stoop. And, you know, the inmates are trickling down, coming from chow. They got like yard time afterwards. And then after chow was over, everyone went inside for count. So I'm standing there, and the inmates are trickling down, and this one inmate, and I personally had never seen him before. He may have been there for a while, but I think he may have been newer, because if he knew me or knew of me, he knew that I was not the one to try. But, you know, I guess he wanted to try his luck. So, you know, he walks over to the area I'm in, and he's like, you know, hey, Officer so-and-so, how are you? I said, I'm good. How are you? And he was like, oh, I'm all right. And then he goes into this story. Now, I can't remember all the details of how he even, I don't know how he even had the audacity to start talking to me in this manner. But I was just like, okay. But he goes into this story about how his old girl, and where I'm from, old girl means mom. So I put that on Cricket. Oh, well, his old girl had been in the hospital, and she had cancer, and she wasn't doing too well. And because he was stuck in there, he couldn't see her, he couldn't do anything for her. I'm like, oh, okay. Whatever. In my mind, I'm like, whatever, why are you telling me this? And so he continues on, And I guess maybe because of the way I looked back then, or maybe even now the way I looked, maybe I looked like a pushover, or that I was soft, you know. I don't know what he thought, but he goes on to say, you know, to ask me, would I help him out? And I'm like, what, excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, he needed to get money to his mom, and he needed someone to open a bank account for him and take cash and deposit cash. And he went on to say how he was doing his thing, whatever that meant, on the compound, and he was getting money, and if I could take the money. And I'm sitting here like, no, the heck he didn't. No, he did not. And so what I should have done in hindsight, and my captain told me this after the fact, I should have shut him down then. But, you know, me and being this investigative little Tiffany, I wanted to know what was going on. Like, okay, where the money coming from? Because I'm trying to find if there was an operation going on that I can go and report back and have that shut down, you know. But anyway, long story short, he goes into all this, and I never really said anything. And I was waiting for the other officer or the sergeant to come back to that side of the yard so that I could, you know, get them engaged, because I didn't want to. Now, one thing you have to realize in a prison environment, the prisoners outweigh the officers by a lot at times, all the time, by a lot. So as much control as an officer thinks they have, they really don't. You are only in control because the inmates are following the rules. They're doing their time. They are cooperating. If at any time they decide that they don't want to, then they're not, and there's not really much you can do about it. Okay. So oh, I'm done with my numbers. Yay. All right, let me go ahead and pull out my stickers for my bill dates. And I think this month I'm not going to use these payday stickers. I'm just going to use the 2 that are left on here so I can make use of these stickers. All right, so carrying on, I'm going to put my pay dates here as we're talking. But anyway, so I'm just like, okay, I didn't say much. I just kept kind of like silent. And I guess silence may have been mistaken for agreeance. So a lot of these things in hindsight, you know, I had to think about. But it was the first time that happened to me. And to be honest, I didn't really know how to handle it. I just know that I was teed off. To be honest, I was really, really upset that that person even tried me. But anyway, so after he felt like, you know, he had me on board and everything was good, you know, he's like, okay, he kind of walked off, and I'm watching him as he walked, because at the same time I'm seething inside. And I watched him as he walked off to so I have a bill on the 6th, which is my Navy credit union. And as you can see, most of my bills are on auto pay. The only 2 that are not. This is a credit card fee for a credit card I don't use. I just keep it because I've had it for so long. I don't want to close the account, but maybe I should. Each year they charge me a fee, and that is that. So that's going to be what I just pay. And my mortgage is not on auto pay because we are paying that from a different account. And I don't like our mortgage company. We might need to find another one. But anyway, let's carry on. The 6th, we have Navy Federal. So at this time, I watch him. He goes off on the yard, and he goes towards, you know, a group of probably his little friends, his little prison friends or whatever. And, you know, he's dapping them up. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, so you just told them you got me, right? Okay, you just wait. So yard was called. He came inside, and the sergeant came back down, and the officer was coming down with the rest of the inmates. So as soon as the sergeant stepped foot in the officer station, I let him know what happened. And I said, I'm going to put it on paper, and I need you to call him down and take him, he, you know, cuff up is basically what he was going to do. So called him down to the officer station, and the look on his face was like he had seen a ghost. I guess he felt like he had me wrapped up and he was going to get all these things done through me. No, the heck you were not. We are not doing that. Based on that situation, he was written up. He was in segregation for 60 days, I believe. And he lost all his game time. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. And so I think that was one of the things that further cemented my compound nickname, which I told y'all was by the book, is no. That's the one officer that you are not going to get anything out of. She may look mild and meek and nice and sweet, but she's not. Anyway, I have a few more of these to put on. And last but not least, when are you due? On 24th. Okay, and I'm going to use these payday stickers because they're here. And I'll put that here. And one here. For you all that do the sticker planning, tell me if you like it. Like, does it help you? Is it just aesthetic for you? All right, so that is the actual calendar. I don't have much going on that I can think of in the month of July. One thing that I know is going on, and I'm gonna use these little heart stickers for that. My mom's birthday is on the 20th. So I'm going to put this one there, and I'll make a note that it's her birthday. And also, I have a bonus daughter, and her birthday is on the 5th. Okay. And there is a holiday on the 4th. I don't think this comes with holiday stickers. It doesn't. So let's just put a star here for next to Independence Day. Yay. Okay, so we are done with this page. Next we'll go over to this page. Now this page, I always set it up wrong. Let's see if we can get it right today. Yay. There's the first one, and I think these will go up here. But that was my little he tried me story. Can you guys believe that? Now I hate that he lost his game time and all those things. I mean, I don't feel bad, but he shouldn't have done that. Like, really? And so I remember when right before he was getting released from said one of the my officers was like, oh, you know, so inmate so and so, and of course I can't remember his name, but you know that inmate so and so is getting out today. And you know, they always tell you those things to try and guess be careful or just be cognizant that they're out. But when he got out at seg and he came walking down the compound, and I think him and I crossed paths like on the yard, he didn't even look my way. He didn't speak. He didn't acknowledge. He just kept going. I'm like, okay. If you know, then you know. All right. So up here is where I put goals. I think I'm getting better at this. Okay, goals there. I'm going to put projects here, but I don't really have any project. You know what? I'm not going to put projects there. I'm going to put important there this month. I don't really have a lot going on, but some of these items I may fill in later. So I believe this whole tracker section is going to go down here. Yay! Okay. Now, normally I do like the 4 paychecks, but I am not doing that this month. I'm going to do 2 because that's what I'm going to have. Okay, so we're going to start here and do paycheck 1. Okay. Out of my no spend. Well, I didn't have a no spend month. I was not purchasing budgeting items in the month of June, and I was able to let's just say I was able to meet that goal. Now I am going to buy a few things that I've been eyeing that I really want to do. You know, for me, you have to keep it, you have to mix it up some. I'm kind of over the scratch offs right now. I have so many in my stash that I'm going to get back to at some point, but now I'm going to take a little break. Maybe I might throw 1 or 2 in there every now and then, but I am into the games. Like, I think I watched someone, I forget right now off the top of my head who that is. I watched someone that has a game night, a savings challenge, or just game night with savings challenges is how they do theirs. I love that concept. So that is it for the paychecks. Last but not least, I'm going to use this page for my end of the month sinking funds update. You see I have my paychecks. This is my notes and savings challenges, my sinking fund tracker, paycheck 1, and then we have goals. I do want to update my goals for this month. Let's go and take a look at July's goals. I'm sorry, at June's goals. And I didn't have much, but as you see, one of my goals for June was at least 10 no spend days. I completed that. One of my goals was to get my YouTube channel to 720 subs. I think as of today, I'm at like 761. I'll put it in here. But oh my gosh, you guys, I'm I didn't expect to get to where I am. I was only expecting like 720. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and watching the videos. I had a goal of no budget purchases. I was able to stick to that. And 3 videos per week. Yes, I also clean and refresh my kitchen, cabinets, and drawers, and the laundry room. I did all those things. Now this area, we're gonna just move on from that. So for the month of July, we're gonna set a goal of 800 subscribers on my YouTube. I want to pay at least $2,500 towards my credit card debt. And of course, most of that will come from my savings challenge box that I'm going to unstuff. I want to have at least, I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive and say 15 no spend days. And one personal goal, it's going to be start grad school, and that one I'm already there. So those are my goals for the month of July. And this section, you know, I'll go in and fill this in as needed. I don't have much to put there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and walk through my July budget. And I know that I always put my budget on my laminated sheet, but before I do that, I do work out a budget on paper, and it helps me plan for that other sheet. So I'm going to take you through my handwritten budget. First thing I do is I write down all of the bills I have. So let's do that first. Okay, and so I do my bills in sections. So these are more like my Tiffany's personal things here, and then car insurance, like just personal bills. Next, I'll have a section that I label credit cards. And so I list all of my credit card payments that I plan to make. Well, all my credit cards that I pay on, okay? After that, I'll have a section that's labeled household. And here are all of the household bills. And these are bills that I do not pay from my personal account. They are transferred into our household account to pay each month. Okay, so those are those sections. And we'll go in and we'll write down the amount. So that's 17, 10, 175. I paid 276 for my car payments, and then 131. Okay, I need to get my calculator. Okay, so that's going to be 885. So 150, this is 151, this is 72, and this bill this month is 95. Okay, so that's a total of 468. And household, my Netflix is 22. And the bills that I'm paying here, the reason why I know the amounts is because they don't change. These are bills that pretty much stay the same. Even these credit card payments, this is new, and this one is this one may change based on the balance, but these two I just pay the same amount every month. So it's much easier to plan when your bills are always the same. And so this is $925. And so what I'll do is I'll add up the total: 885, 468, 925, 2278. So these are the bills that I will have to pay this month, okay? Let me go ahead, let me really quickly put in my due dates. Okay, so these are all the bills, and I do this. I don't take into account any cash envelopes, any sinking funds. In this process, none of that matters. All that matters is I'm accounting for the actual things that I have to pay. So I'll also note each month my pay dates. Okay, and so this month, one thing that you always, if you have a buffer, I do make sure I account for my buffer. So I'll put my buffer here. And then I'll put my first pay date, and then, the 14th. And just skip a couple places and put my second pay date. Okay. So the reason why I list them like this is because now I'm going to go in and highlight when these bills are going to be paid. So we'll have buffer. I'll use this color for the 14th and then this color for the 28th. Okay, so basically my first pay date is 7/14. So any bill that's due between 7/1 and 7/13 technically cannot be covered by this 14th pay date because I haven't received it yet. So my buffer account is going to have to cover that. Now, if you had a month ahead envelope or a bills, if you were stuffing for your bills, that's what this would be. But I don't save for bills. All of my bills come from my account. So then I'll go in and I'll highlight any bill that is due before the 14th. I will highlight it yellow. So we have iTunes, Fundrise, T-Mobile. We'll have this credit card, and then Netflix and Cox. So for now, I know that these bills will be paid by my buffer, right? Next, we'll move on to the 14th. And so anything that will be due the 14th through the 27th will be covered with this paycheck because I can't use the 28th until I receive it. So now I'll go through and I'll highlight those. So we'll have car payment number 1. Car insurance is the 27th. We'll have this card, and then this fee will get paid. And then we'll have mortgage and YouTube TV. Okay. Then the 28th would cover anything from the 28th until my next pay period, which will be in August 11th. So anything between July 28th and August 10th is what is going to be covered with this paycheck. So for sure, the only thing I have left on here is my car payment number 2. So technically, the rest of the money here will go into my account, which is my buffer. And so it's going to cover the other bills that are due up until the 11th. So that will be iTunes, Fundrise, T-Mobile, and then we'll have this credit card, and then this one, and then we'll also have Netflix and Cox. So then I would decide like how much my paychecks will be for those dates. So I'm going to just stick with, not this payment, I'm going to stick with $1,900 because that's normally the amount I have after everything comes out of that paycheck. All of my automatic transfers and things that I don't budget for. So we'll put $1,900 here and then $1,900 here. And let's go ahead and add that up. So for the 14th, we're going to have $276, $131, $72, $95, and $73. That's a total of $1,292. So that gives me excess of $608. And then for the 28th, we're going to add up everything else. So 17, 10, 175, 276, 150, 151, 22, and 185. That gives us 986. Minus 1,900, 914. So this is the amount for each week that I will have to budget for my cash envelopes, my sinking funds, and savings challenges. I was saying, I know everyone does budgeting videos, how to budget. This is just the way that I budget before I prepare myself for the month. And I do this every month. I've always done the color coding system. So here's my budget sheet, and I will use this information to complete this, and then I'm budgeting for what I'm going to have left over for my sinking funds, cash envelopes, and then savings challenges. So that is it for today's video. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.